Hello, welcome back to Mama on Paper. I just wanted to go ahead and shoot a video in regards to what notebooks and paper items I've currently been using most frequently. And it's not that extensive, but what I use the most actually is this little pocket notebook, and I use it as a waste book. So I don't know if you've seen that on the internet where you just jot down your grocery list or random thoughts or anything of that nature, and then you move it to somewhere specific when you're done writing it down in here. Because throughout the day I have found that for me personally, I have two children and they're both 2 and under and I have just found that I come across thoughts and things that I want to write down. And this is a pocket notebook, so I could put it in my pocket, put it in my bag, keep it on me throughout the house, and just cross things off as I move them elsewhere. Like for example, at a quick glance, I have birthdays from September, a September to-do list. This is very general. And then here I drew out a monthly calendar, and this is September, so it has everything already filled out since we're at the end of September already. And basically it's just like I do a rolling weekly as far as like my weekly tasks. So it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then I cross them off as I do them. I have obviously like habits up here that I like to do every day that I've not been consistent on. I do rapid logging for my day, because once I rapid log my day, things that have happened, things that have occurred, or emotions or things that I go through, you know, as you can see, these are notes from a YouTube video. There's a lot of things in here that I don't want to keep, so when I'm done with the page, I cross it out so that I know that I don't need to do anything further. And the rapid logging is for my journal. So I actually use this Sterling Ink B6 Common Planner, and I apologize, you could see the camera up on top of this, but Common Planner, full year. It is a vertical, which I actually don't use the vertical section, but I kind of want to show a little overview of this as well. But the rapid logging goes in here because the back part are blank pages. Here, this whole back section are blank pages. They're gridded pages, of course, but they're essentially blank. And I use this back pages as my journal. And so the rapid logging is because throughout the day, I don't have time to sit down and write everything out in detail how I want to. The emotions I felt, the things that I experienced, proud moments of my kids, anything like that. So I just write it on this little scratch pad and then cross it out after I move it to here. As you've seen, I do weekly planning in here with the rolling weeklies. For September, I'm using the color purple, which is why it's highlighted in purple for certain days. And that's basically what I use that for, which is from Walmart actually. Comes in a pack of 3. Super good quality actually. I really enjoyed using these, and I believe I'm all finished with these now. Before I move on to this though, I did want to briefly go over something else I just recently purchased, which is this notebook cover for my pocket notebooks that I use just as scratch pads. And I did buy some new pocket notebook inserts for here from Amazon that are like dirt cheap, way cheaper than Walmart, because to be honest, I go through them so quickly and I don't just want to toss away expensive notebooks. I just want to scratch it out real quick and then toss them away. So here we go. We got, this is a notebook cover from September Leather. I actually got it on Amazon per another YouTube recommendation, and this is a pocket size. And so I'll just go over this with you quickly. This is a Mr. Pen gel ink. I think it's like a 0.5 millimeter But that's the pen I like to use to jot down quick notes. And this, I actually just recently got this from AliExpress. It's a wallet, so it says Traveler's Notebook. It says the world is a book, but people who do not travel read only one page. So that's cool. And the wallet has a zip, which I have a little bit of cash in here. And it comes with this pen loop attached, because I really didn't want to put a pen loop on the notebook cover. I didn't like how that looked. And then if you've ever seen the Traveler's Notebook version of the pen loop, it has like a part that sticks out, and I didn't want to mess up anything that was on the inside. So I found this on AliExpress and I actually really like it. Oh, this is some kind of lint. But it does have card slots. So I do have cards in here, I have cards in here, pen loop, and a zipper part to this. Found it on AliExpress. This is a passport size because they didn't have a pocket size. Therefore, the traditional Traveler Notebook covers, which are only passport size and standard, which is like this really tall, skinny version. This little notebook actually came with the cover, although I am not really fond of this little notebook. I don't know, there's something about the feel of it, and then it's stapled and it's not threaded. So the ones from Walmart are actually sewn, which I think is fantastic. Something that I really enjoy is the sewn binding, but this one's just stapled, which I really don't like. But yeah, this is dot grid paper. Other than that, the paper itself is not bad. But I'm just going to use this again as a waste book. So I have written out the calendar. So these are actually my notes. So this is how I rapid log. So there's notes, actions, mood, events, appointments, memories, which I use on the calendar pages as well, in addition to the rapid logging. It's from the bullet journal method, if you've ever seen that before. But I'm not going to show you my monthly calendars. It's just what I'm going to use this for. But this is for on the go, because basically I carry it just like this around the house. But then when I'm leaving the house, I want to throw it in here because I also have a wallet option here. And then if I take my kids to a doctor's appointment or anything, then I will have that with me. And then the pen loop obviously is great, and it does expand, so I think I could also use a fountain pen with this if I wanted to. Although fountain pens, if you know fountain pens, they basically stay really wet on the page, and if I'm just going to be jotting down things real quick and then just throwing it out, I don't want to smudge and smear fountain pen ink everywhere. So I actually got this common planner in this gray, I think she called it tweed color. I do have some planner tabs from Dandelion Diaries. Oh, it's totally out of focus. But, you know, I've kind of almost used them all up. And this is a sticker and some vellum from the Copy Monsters Co. I'm not going to show you everything in here because it's pretty full, but has a lot of personal information. But I do use this for tracking certain things. Vacation time. I was working before, so the greener paydays and such like that. I stopped using this book for planning, so as you can see, nothing is crossed off for September. I just moved into my little pocket notebooks and a wall calendar. So I do have some stickers. I am a Scorpio. My birthday's coming up in October. So on the first pages here, they are blank gridded pages behind this that I used as calendar events for big things that are coming up and birthdays. So I wrote out every single person that I know's birthday on this other page, so I won't share that. And these are like a goal breakdown at the beginning of the year. As you can see, I was using this as a no spend tracker, and I had to backfill April and totally fell off of March. So I backfilled April, and then I just didn't do it anymore. It's not something that I am good at. So I kind of color coded this here. I was using this, I'm trying to get you a blank page here. One of these, right? I was using this goal breakdown page or quarterly breakdown page to mark my days of depression. So I was doing it in that salmon reddish color, my days of depression that I was experiencing. And, you know, I was really going through a lot of postpartum depression after having my son. And I wanted to keep track of that to see what days I was feeling really bad and what days I wasn't. So luckily I didn't have to keep track of that anymore, but that was pretty heavy several months there. This is just an empty monthly page that I'm obviously not going to use. I do have some important to-dos and personal things there. And then I have here an adulting log that I was keeping track of everything that I have written somewhere else now. But I was using this. I was trying to use this book for everything, which, as you can see, didn't really work out very well. For some reason, I don't really like having my planning with my journaling. So I think probably because my planning, or my version of planning, is like writing it all out and then scratching it off, and it looks just absolutely terrible. And I want to keep this, you know. I bought this specifically to keep it, and I started on my monthly pages just crossing out every day. It looks super messy, and yes, I love the look of a used book, but to hold on to it forever is not something that I plan on doing in the future. So anywho, so the monthly pages are all in the front here, but what I started to do is back in the journaling pages, I started tabbing those also, just so I can keep track and see how many pages I'm using per month. So like between each month, you could see how many pages that I used for each and every single one of them. And just quickly, you know, I put ephemera in there. I put memories, notes, emotions, like bad things that have happened, good things that have happened, just everything is just in these back pages. And you know, I just want to keep those things just to see a year from now, because I just started journaling you know, in December when this first started, and I want to keep this to see how far I've grown next year. And I did already purchase the Kimboars and everything for next year so that I can watch my growth progress over time, because I do think that's just awesome. In the back here, I did have my TCMC orders, Coffee Monsters Co. orders, got some swatches, my order stickers, some swatches I was doing just to try out the paper, things I was gonna try and sell, house decluttering. This is sticker paper that I glued in that I didn't end up using on this back page. I tried to, but it didn't work out. I'd rather have my stickers in a separate place. But this I actually got from one of my Coffee Monsters Co. orders, and it's from Helen. She has her journaling things right there with some coffee and a little blurb, which I'm definitely going to keep in here because I think it's just so cute. It's just such a nice touch when small businesses send you specific things. And then order stickers, I just started collecting them, writing my order numbers and when I receive them and everything. But that's pretty much it. That's basically what I'm using now, and a wall calendar. As soon as I find out a date, I'll write it in my little scratch notebooks and then transfer it to the wall calendar to be able to plan my weeks coming up and such things like that. But I don't know if you want to appreciate the sheen on these. I really love sheening ink. This ink right here, Monteverde California Teal, hands down one of my favorite inks I've ever had. So anyways, hope you're doing great, and I hope you tune into the next video, and I will catch you next time. Bye!